February 18, 2026, a day that will be remembered as one of the most turbulent in recent American history. On this day, the nation finds itself at the mercy of nature's most powerful forces, as if the entire country is caught in a relentless battle with the elements. In California, relentless storms pound the region, unleashing torrents of rain that transform city streets into rivers and mountain roads into dangerous, impassable paths. Residents scramble to protect their homes as water levels rise, and emergency crews work around the clock to rescue those stranded by the floods. Meanwhile, in the heart of the plains, explosive wildfires rage across parched grasslands. Fueled by record-breaking heat, bone-dry air, and relentless winds, these blazes move with terrifying speed, threatening entire communities and forcing thousands to flee. To the north, a massive blizzard bears down on the upper Midwest. Whiteout conditions and howling winds make travel nearly impossible, while families hunker down, bracing for the storm's full fury. The nation is under siege from every direction, each region facing its own unique crisis. These aren't just isolated weather events, they are life-altering disasters, each driven by a complex web of atmospheric forces. The scale and intensity of these crises are testing the limits of emergency response and the resilience of communities across the country. In California, a relentless fire hose of subtropical moisture, known as an atmospheric river, drenches both cities and mountains. Streets in Los Angeles vanish beneath floodwaters, while mountain communities are cut off by landslides and washed-out roads. Across the plains, the land is a tinderbox. Record heat and gusty winds create perfect conditions for wildfires to ignite and spread uncontrollably. Firefighters battle the flames with everything they have, but the relentless winds make their task nearly impossible. At the same time, a powerful winter storm is set to bury the Midwest under a thick blanket of snow and ice. Roads become treacherous, power lines snap under the weight of ice, and entire towns are left isolated as the blizzard intensifies. Across the country, families are forced to evacuate at a moment's notice, grabbing what they can, and leaving behind homes and memories. First responders risk their lives to help those in danger, while communities come together, bracing for the unknown and supporting one another through the chaos. This is more than a story about meteorology. It's about survival, resilience, and the human spirit. In emergency shelters and devastated neighborhoods, stories of courage and hope emerge, even as people face unimaginable loss. From the flooded streets of Los Angeles to the smoke-filled skies of Texas and the snowbound towns of Minnesota, millions of Americans are living through a day that will shape their lives for years to come. Nature's extremes are on full display, testing the strength and resolve of everyone in their path. Today we'll break down these extraordinary events, explore the science behind their causes, and hear firsthand from those living through this unprecedented day of weather extremes. Their stories, and the lessons we learn, will echo long after the storms have passed. Southern California, a region famous for its endless sunshine and blue skies, is now facing a dramatic and rare transformation. The City of Angels, known for its palm-lined boulevards and golden sunsets, has been plunged into chaos by a relentless storm system. Instead of gentle drizzles, Los Angeles is now overwhelmed by a powerful atmospheric river, a narrow corridor of concentrated moisture in the sky, capable of unleashing torrents of rain in a matter of hours. Torrential rain, sometimes reaching up to 2 inches per hour, has turned once busy streets into fast-moving rivers, swallowing sidewalks and flooding intersections. The city's storm drains, designed for lighter rainfall, are quickly overwhelmed, unable to keep up with the deluge. The LA River, usually a trickle or a dry concrete channel, has become a raging torrent, its banks overflowing with muddy, debris-filled water surging through the heart of the city. Commutes are paralyzed. Major freeways, the lifelines of Los Angeles, are submerged beneath feet of water. Cars are stranded, traffic is at a standstill, and emergency crews are stretched thin as they respond to calls for help across the sprawling metropolis. Firefighters and swift water rescue teams are risking their lives, wading through waist-deep, fast-moving water to pull stranded motorists from partially submerged vehicles. Each rescue is a race against time, as the water continues to rise and the current grows stronger. Hillsides, especially those scarred by recent wildfires, are saturated and unstable. The relentless rain has primed the ground for dangerous mudslides, sending muddy torrents and debris crashing down onto roads and into neighborhoods below. Evacuation warnings have been issued for vulnerable neighborhoods perched on unstable slopes. Families are hurriedly packing their belongings, leaving behind homes and memories, uncertain if the ground beneath them will hold or give way to the relentless force of nature. The city is transformed. Residents who once filled the streets now stay indoors, heeding official warnings and watching the skies anxiously. The familiar hum of traffic is replaced by the sound of rain pounding on rooftops and the distant wail of sirens. This storm is a stark reminder of how quickly weather can turn deadly. Even in a modern metropolis built for sunshine, the city's infrastructure, so often taken for granted, is being put to the ultimate test. Meanwhile, the same system that's flooding Los Angeles is dumping heavy snow in the nearby mountains, closing roads and stranding travelers, compounding the crisis and stretching emergency resources even further. For now, Los Angeles is at the mercy of water, a force that brings life to the region, but in excess, reveals the city's vulnerability. As the rain continues to fall, the people of Los Angeles wait, hope, and brace for what comes next. While Los Angeles grapples with relentless flooding, streets transformed into rivers and cars struggling through waterlogged intersections, a very different crisis is unfolding just a few hundred miles to the north. The Sierra Nevada is being pummeled by a blizzard of historic proportions, with entire mountain ranges disappearing beneath a thick, swirling blanket of snow. An atmospheric river, a massive conveyor belt of moisture from the Pacific, slams into the mountains, unleashing snowfall rates that reach up to 3 inches per hour, so intense that visibility drops to near zero and the landscape transforms in minutes. In some areas, snowdrifts are piling up to 10 feet deep, burying cabins and vehicles, and turning familiar landmarks into unrecognizable mounds of white. This deluge of snow is a season-saving boon for California's water supply, promising relief from drought in the months ahead. But in the short term, it's a deadly threat. Major highways like Interstate 80 are completely shut down, with snowplows struggling to keep up, and mountain passes rendered utterly impassable. Entire communities find themselves isolated, cut off from the outside world as the snow continues to fall. Avalanche danger is now at extreme levels. Unstable layers of snow, built up by the relentless storm, are triggering deadly slides with little warning, threatening anyone who ventures into the backcountry. Search and rescue teams, braving blizzard conditions and near whiteout visibility, are desperately searching for a group of backcountry skiers missing after an avalanche near Castle Peak. Every minute counts as rescuers, and their dogs comb the snow, hoping for a miracle. The storm's dual nature is unmistakable. On one hand, it brings life-giving snow that will replenish reservoirs and rivers, but on the other, it creates chaos, stranding travelers, overwhelming emergency services, and putting lives in immediate danger. Mountain towns are cut off, commerce grinds to a halt, and the risk to human life grows with every passing hour. Supplies dwindle and the sense of isolation deepens as the snow keeps falling. For many, the beauty of winter has given way to a daily struggle for survival, shoveling roofs, seeking shelter and waiting for the storm to finally break. In the Sierra, the weight of the sky itself presses down, turning a winter wonderland into a landscape of peril and resilience. As California drowns, the plains ignite. Wildfires are exploding across Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Colorado, and Nebraska. Record heat, bone-dry air, and hurricane-force winds have created a perfect storm for fire. Dormant grass from last year's wet season is now kindling, fueling blazes that move faster than people can run. The Storm Prediction Center has issued its highest fire alert. This is a worst-case scenario. Fires are already scorching hundreds of thousands of acres, creating their own weather and forcing mass evacuations. Smoke turns day to night in the Texas Panhandle, and entire towns are on the move. Firefighters are overwhelmed, shifting focus from containment to saving lives. For thousands, it's a desperate race to escape the flames. The plains are in crisis, nature's opposite extremes, all in one day. The human toll of the wildfires is immediate and devastating. In Oklahoma and Kansas, evacuation orders leave families with minutes to flee, grabbing only what they can carry. Schools and universities are emptied, and emergency operations are in full swing. Residents leave behind homes, ranches, and livelihoods. Generations of work lost in moments. Power is cut to thousands to prevent new fires, leaving communities in darkness and uncertainty. In Texas, schools close and highways fill with convoys of evacuees. Neighbors help each other, first responders work tirelessly, and strangers open their doors to the displaced. For every home saved, another is lost. For every animal rescued, others are left behind. The heartbreak is immense, but so is the spirit of resilience and community. Today, the plains write their story in smoke and ash. The plains disaster isn't just fire, it's chaos on the roads. Ferocious winds whip up dust storms, reducing visibility to zero and causing deadly pileups, like the one on I-25 in Colorado. Highways across Kansas and Colorado are closed, stranding travelers and crippling supply chains. Truckers and families are stuck, surrounded by smoke and dust, waiting for roads to reopen. Emergency services are stretched thin, responding to accidents and managing closures in hazardous conditions. The air itself is dangerous, thick with particulates that threaten health. The gridlock is a public safety crisis, showing how quickly weather can paralyze modern infrastructure. In the plains, wind, fire, and drought have brought the region to a standstill. In the upper Midwest, a blizzard is about to unleash its fury. Moisture from the south collides with Arctic air, setting the stage for a paralyzing storm. Blizzard warnings stretch from North Dakota to Wisconsin, with up to 2 feet of heavy, wet snow expected. Winds gusting to 60 miles per hour will create whiteout conditions and make travel impossible. Power outages are likely as snow and wind batter lines, leaving thousands at risk in freezing temperatures. Freezing rain may arrive first, coating everything in ice, and compounding the danger. Utility crews are on standby, but repairs must wait until the storm passes. Residents are urged to stay inside and prepare for days of isolation. The region braces for a long, dangerous battle with winter's worst. The whiteout is coming, and the Midwest holds its breath. As the blizzard approaches, the upper Midwest springs into action. Grocery stores are packed, shelves emptying as families stock up for days indoors. Homeowners test snowblowers, check furnaces, and bring in firewood. Rituals of survival. City crews fuel up plows and salt trucks but warn that during the storm, roads will be impassable. The message is clear: shelter in place and don't expect help until the storm subsides. Preparation is a community effort, even as each household faces the storm alone. The calm before the blizzard is filled with urgency and solidarity. Everyone knows what's coming, and everyone is doing their part. The region braces for impact, united by experience and resolve. The storm's arrival is inevitable. Now, it's time to endure. On a day of floods, fires, and blizzards, safety is paramount. Listen to local officials, evacuate when told, and don't wait until it's too late. For floods, remember, turn around, don't drown, never drive through water-covered roads. In a blizzard, stay inside, stock up on essentials, and keep a winter survival kit ready. If the power goes out, wear layers and conserve heat. Never use generators or grills indoors. Preparedness is your best defense. Have a plan, know your evacuation routes, and sign up for alerts. Talk with your family about what to do in an emergency. Today's events are a sobering reminder that nature's fury can strike anywhere, anytime. By staying informed and looking out for each other, we can weather any storm. Together, we keep our communities safe, even on the most extreme day.